Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today I am in my MySewNet Platinum, and we are going to make an encored heart mug rug. Here's what it looks like. I saw this on Pinterest someplace, and I thought it looked pretty easy to make. All you had to do is make the heart and some lines and whatnot, and voila. So, here's how I did it. So, all I'm going to do is start with a blank canvas. I'm making this in the 200 by 200 quilters hoop. If you were in Premiere Plus Ultra, you would start in the regular embroidery program and you would go down into the lower corner into the Create module, which is that little tulip flower, and open that up, and basically you would do a blank screen with no embroidery or no design, and then you would, I basically hit cancel there, but you would want the paint program, the paint section. Okay, so anyway, we are gonna be in MySewNet Platinum, and we're gonna go into the Create tab, and we're gonna go into digitizing. And like I say, here I usually just hit cancel. And I am going to go into Quick Create to start out with. And I am going to go into the fill area and line. I'm going to choose the pattern fill that I want. Remember, we have all kinds of pattern fills. I'm going to choose number 2, just for kicks and giggles. And you can't go any lower in density. For the line, because my heart is going to be pretty small, I'm going to tune that down to a size 2. And I'm going to decrease the density just a little bit. All right, and for this purpose, we're going to be into the shape section. Remember, if you click on the little triangle with the line, it allows you to go into all of the items. So I am going to choose number 73, the heart. And I know that my basic design is going to be around this size. So the 200 by 200 hoop. So I'm just going to click on this shape thing, and my shape automatically comes up, and I'm going to hold down my control key, and that's going to resize it proportionately. If you were in the Premiere Plus program, it's the Shift key that does that. And I'm going to move that heart up, keeping in mind that I'm probably going to have a circle around here. So I want to leave myself enough room. And I'm going to add a line to my heart. So to do that, I'm going to go to Point Create. If you are in Premiere Plus Ultra, it would be Precise Create. So I'm going to turn off my pattern fill. I'm going to keep my satin line. I'm going to change my satin line to a width of 1. And I'm just going to click on Create Area and Line. And I'm going to click at the very base of my heart and click in the very center of my hoop. And I am going to, if I can get to it, zoom in here and see if that is the exact spot that I want it to be. And I want to scooch it over just a tiny bit. All right. So we are good with that. I'm going to go back down to full size. And at this point, if you are in Premiere Plus, I would do a file. I would do a save as. It would save as an EDO file. I would put it out in Heart MugRug and save it. That way, if you need to go back in and change things, you can. You would just reopen it. You would go back into the tool-up, and instead of you would open as an existing file, and then over here you would just right-click and change. You go to Properties and change it that way. But those of you who are lucky enough to have MySewNet Platinum, all you have to do is close it out here, and you're back in the regular embroidery program. And make sure your design is selected, and go into the Encore, and I chose the circle design. And there were 6, and I decided that, did I really want 6 designs, or did I want to bump it up to, let's see what 8 looks like. 8 looks better. So I'm going to say apply. And I'm trying to think, did I really want to do that? And I don't think I wanted to do that. So I'm going to go backwards. And show you why. So I'm going to leave 8 there, preview. So this is what the problem was. I needed to resize it first. So I'm just left clicking and dragging it down. And I'm keeping in mind that eventually I'm going to have a circle around here for my mug rug. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to hit apply. Alrighty, now the beauty of this program is now I can go back into my Create. I can go back into digitizing. I'm going to hit cancel again. I still have my 200 by 200 hoop. I'm going to go into Quick Create. I'm going to turn off my fill. I am going to use a satin line. I'm just going to click my shape. I'm going to hold down my control key and have that shape right there. Okay, and I'm going to do this a couple of times. So I'm going to do there's a method to my madness here. I'm going to do a copy and a paste, and a copy, and a paste. And I am going to insert a color change. I'm trying to decide if I want to insert a color change or if I want to just insert a stop. Guess I'll just insert a stop. Okay, so I'm going to go down here into properties, and I'm just going to use a running stitch. I'm going to change the satin line, and I am just right-clicking to get that properties list. I'm going to change that satin line to a double stitch. And that can be a 2.0 length. And then I'm going to change the satin line over to a 5 millimeter. And I am going to change that blue color over to something that I probably would never dream of using. And I'm going to click out there. So each one of these things I can still go back in and play with. I'm going to go back into digitizing. And I'm going to make myself a heart. And I do not have to use that same pattern. And I can change it once it's made. I'm holding the control key down here again. And I'm going to right click once, twice, and you can change it to whatever fill you want. I'm going to use that fill. And I'm going to change that color over to something else for a minute. That looks about right. And if I wanted to add something else, I still can. Let's go back in and let's see. Back into digitizing. And I am going to add some, I'm going to change that to a triple stitch. And I'm going to shrink that up to a little tiny dot. And again, I'm going to change that color to something else. And I can change that later. And this is where it's going to give me some trouble. Let's see if I can scooch my screen a little bit here so I can see what I'm doing. I need to zoom in so I can get the directional. And I can copy and I can paste a few of those around. Gonna use this to toggle back out a little bit. Make sure I can still get my directional. To move it. And we also have to keep in mind that the machine is going to stitch them out exactly as they are placed here. So this one's going to stitch out first, then this one. So, and then this one. So this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. So they're kind of in a clockwise circle. And if I move this here, and I move this, whoops, out here, and this out here, and this out here, all right, so then we have a mug rug with some dots in it. All right, so now a couple of things. We are going to go back into the home. We're gonna go back here, and now we are going to take a look at things. This circle needs to be at the very, very end. This can be first. This can stitch out second. These are okay as is. I would definitely double check before stitching them out to make sure they are in the order that you want. Now we're going to go to combine and combine all. And color sort. And that should do it. And then lastly, we are going to do a design player and see how this stitches out. And I kind of wish that the overlap was removed, but I think I can live with that. The other thing is this could have been done as an applique. I didn't do that for a reason. God only knows what that reason was, but I like to do it my own way. The only thing that I might have changed, and I can still go back and fix that. So I'm going to hit the Control Z, Z, and I'm going to go back in here. And I can still go down to that 18th section on the film strip. And I'm going to take and do one more copy. And I'm going to do a color change. And I'm going to pick an obscure color. Let's do that green. And now I'm going to do a paste. And running stitch is what I wanted. So I'm going to go back out. And now I'm going to do a combine all. And I'm going to do a color sort. And that I'm going to go into the modify. Make sure your item is selected when you do modify. And I'm going to take that last green and I'm going to move it way up. And what that is going to do is when I put batting underneath my hoop, because I don't generally hoop my batting, I lay it underneath, it's going to stitch that batten down for me. And now it's going to stitch those hearts on the batting. And I am going to stitch all of this onto a water soluble. And I'm going to trim all that batting and everything away before this satin stitch is done. And voila, I have a mug rug. Oh, the other thing is the reason why I put those stops in there is so that just before that satin stitch, I can lay a piece of fabric on the back side of that. So it's going to do a single stitch. And that's going to show me where my fabric needs to be placed. I'm going to tape a piece of fabric down. And then I can do the double stitch around, and that's going to secure that fabric down there. I'm going to trim around that fabric, top side and bottom side, leaving that piece of water-soluble Aqua Magic. And then I'm going to lastly do that the satin stitch, and then I'm going to just rinse that water-soluble Aqua Magic away from there, and all should be good. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel to keep these types of videos coming. Leave me comments if you want me to show you a specific thing. Leave it in the comments. Someone left me a comment that they'd like to see how to split a design, and I will be making a video on that shortly. And I will leave you on a note with that there are some other great sites for videos on the machine embroidery software. There's Phil Carlton and Linda's Stitching and Power Tools with Thread, and there's Maggie's site. So check them out. Catch you later. Bye.